there, how you doing? I'm Yalik. This is going to be a Fat Fingers video, and I'm going to be seeing some of this for the first time, same as you. My anniversary was this weekend. It was our 5 years, so we decided to take the weekend and go away. And so I told the guys that I was going to need a couple of days off. So we had a fill-in. Orion took my spot there for a couple of days. Thank you, Orion. I do appreciate that. This is the current op that's ongoing. I haven't seen any of those hits. 226, 155, 298 was Manticore. Not the best roll. This low point is ugly but not impossible. Alamo is always really hard for a 5-man, but looking, you know, all in all like a respectable day. This was yesterday, where, again, let's see, 226, 190, 155, 119, which means the 262 and the 298 were both shield bases. Looks like Sven, that's Sven with the Japanese letters there, farmed Humble Pie to the tune of 105 force points, which is a pretty darn good farm. We're not here to watch a farm, however. This was the day before I left. It was not our best day ever, and this was the day that I left, and we're going to watch through, let's see, we got 941 force points this day, and I was told I'd want to film this, so my wife and I are back. We're getting settled back in again, and I'm going to go ahead and get this video before this falls off the log. So let's see. I don't even know if I had time to watch. I was very busy getting ready before we left. I don't even know if I had time to watch any of the other hits besides the one that I did. I knew we had Torrent. I hate hitting Torrent, and especially in a 5-man. It's a risky proposition, so I had to go. I hit something else. I don't recall seeing this at all. And this is a really wicked coney, so this will be interesting. It's got bullet. Probably a good call here. Take care of the machine guns with taunt. I'm assuming we're going to be shocking him in... Or maybe not. No. Alright, so he's got bullet, and he's just going to use bullet to sit up amongst these mortars. The health was not insanely high on this, but that's still pretty high. Especially if you don't have battle orders to speed up your troops. So, yeah, this will be interesting. How many shocks are we looking at? Like 4 or 5? What? 1, 2, 3, 4. He's leaving one mortar over here unshocked. Just picking off a few ladies at the corners. Bullet and taunt. At this point, the machine guns turned and activated. Of course, they have no delay, but Bullet is taking care of those. Rocket launchers and shock launcher had turned, but they have a bit of a delay on them, so they hadn't had time to fire. That was a really nasty conifold. I had not seen that hit before playing it for you, so that was a pretty good hit. 226 Perrins on Axiom, Hot Beach. 2 or 3 shocks, depending. You don't need to shock this because you'll be sitting in its blind spot. You might want to shock the flamethrowers. Obviously, the rocket launchers and shock launchers' health is, again, not too terribly bad. Nice little landing there. Using the right flare point. We've got some people who feel very, very strongly about that flare point right there, and also about this boom mine. Don't need to name names, but yeah. If you really want to piss some people off in this task force, just go ahead and clear that boom mine before you start doing this hit. You'll be sure to catch some flack for it later. So I'd assume he's just going to go with the 3 shocks. Because why wouldn't you? Keep everybody alive. Kill this as quickly as possible. Nice how his girls sat back there and didn't call. Sometimes, every once in a while, they spread too much and somebody likes to come around the corner of this power cell and then this shock launcher will come into play and blah blah blah. But that was a nice clean hit actually. This was the 155. It was stupid, it was ballast, but I wasn't hitting Torrent, and so I didn't know what else to do, but I needed to hit because I was boosted and I had to get ready to go. So this is what we had. Ballast. I mean, you laugh, but I actually failed a ballast a couple of weeks ago, being a 10-man, and that was really, really embarrassing. Can afford to gap a little bit down here. Normally these are machine guns. When those are not machine guns, or when those are machine guns, you don't want to gap. But in this case, they were not, so. I recall the spread on this being insane, because I flared a tiny bit, like probably a tile behind where I meant to. Yeah, so those Zukas are just walking all over creation. Look on the right-hand side of that mortar, so I had to shock a tiny bit early. It's even more pronounced when everything starts to disappear as the towers explode and stuff. Look at how far these Zukas have spread. Yeah, just like a single file line of Zukas wrapping around this mortar, but not in any kind of a good way. Just, yeah. So knocked that back, and here's the interesting hits on this hop, actually. I'm looking forward to these two Torrent hits, Mav and Argus. And they both went with Bullet and Gramps. And I know this wasn't the only reason we considered doing this in the first place, is that this wasn't a very, very ugly Torrent. There was this one rocket launcher back here, and then this shock launcher, sometimes it's absent, and that would have been great. That probably would have sealed the deal for me to agree, like, yeah, let's go ahead and hit Torrent. But it was there, I just didn't even want to think about it. So I skipped town and left this to somebody else. But it looks like they did a really good job with it, so let's see what they did. I'm assuming we're going to try some sort of a bullet shock and clear for this first hit. Possible. We're just going to skip the bullet. Oh, I see what he's going to do. So he's going to flare out to this damage amp, I believe, and then use taunt to get all of these rocket launchers. Very nicely done. Nope, actually he went one cell further out, but Bullet is standing in a really great spot, taunting, was that 6-8 rocket launchers at the same time? And yeah, so he's just got plenty of time to sit there and work. Main thing is Bullet is not even nicked at this point, so you've got a lot of time here as long as you keep taunting and make sure that the bombardiers are not getting fired at. You've got a lot of time to clear here. And the main thing you worry about are the Doom Cannons back there, which are not taunted. So that's what all those critters are doing. So just barraging. This was with the barrage tribe we had recently, so those barrage are worth a bunch of extra damage. And at this point, he's just going to try to clear as much possible from this side. And since he has that tribe, actually, so he's going for the shock launcher down here as well. So yeah, that tribe actually made a pretty big difference for this hit. Or at least, well, I don't know, I'm guessing, but obviously they were successful in taking Torrent down in 2 hits, which is a good day anyway. That's rare. Very, very rare. So I'm assuming it all works out for the best, let's put it that way. So still barraging, still farming up all the extra GBE over here in order to do that, and hopefully clearing a few mines for a kill zone that Argus is going to need for the next hit. Now keeping those mortars shocked up here because Bullet is dead. So just to make sure that his guys keep walking forward and killing things. He's tagging some things actually, so like this mortar up here, making sure that they have damage so that they will be targeted first when the next hit starts, and he still had one little dude left to go when he ran out of time. So that was a great hit. This thing is pretty much dead. Rocket launcher back here is totally dead. This stuff is not going to range if you stay, well, kill zone is kind of right around here where these mines are. It looks like, let's watch the second act here. Normally I show ops where we've got, you know, 5 solos, but in this case, this is probably better than 5 solos. Torrent into, and it was the big bass on the operation. So really, you always want the 298 to die, if at all possible. But you have to do it in a certain number of hits, otherwise just the math doesn't work anymore. So yeah, clearing those mines so he can stand there. I mean, has Torrent ever been soloed? I don't know. Somebody must have at some point, but it's just not something that happens, so getting it in 2 is the best you can do with it. And we need that kind of, we need that kind of production because we need force points. That's the whole idea of this 5-man style of play. In solos or not solos, it doesn't matter what bases you hit or what troops you use, the important thing is force points. Just trying to find himself a nice little hidey hole right now. He's going to get picked off. So you can probably hear some squeaking in the background. There's a road crew working on my road. It's been badly needed for like 3 years. They've just been filling the potholes and not actually paving. So now that they're finally doing something, it's great, but this week is going to suck in terms of like noises around the house. And I'm pretty sure my dogs are going to hate this when they seriously get working. But time must have been starting to become a factor there, because Argus decided to throw some of that hyper barrage on the core to make sure that it got down a little faster. And he had tons and tons of bombardiers left. What are we looking at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So he had to have been worrying about time a bit, because if it's just a matter of having the damage to take that out, he had plenty of damage there. So, yeah, so that got us 941 force points. And that's a fairly decent operation. Looks like we've had some, minus a hiccup here and there, we've been pretty solid through the last, couple of weeks. This one was the worst that we've had. That is a bad day. Ideally, we get like 900 force points a day. Anywhere between, 750 down here, like that's kind of the minimum that we're looking for. We'll beat that today. Actually, I mean, I gotta be honest, I would attack this low point. It's worth it, just on the chance that you beat it. If we get the Orbifold is the 119 base here. Have a look at that. So super easy force points there, but you're just sacrificing about 70 force points. And this is not super easy, but it is beatable. I would say hack a mortar, re-smoke, double hack these 2 rocket launchers, 4 boat Suzukas, clear those rocket launchers there, possibly the boom cannon if you can get to it. Come back down here. Your time is going to be your enemy, but then 4 more boats, I think, of bombardiers, and clear. Shield 4 million. Yeah, it's a bit, but it's really just a time game there. I don't know. That would be my take, but I'll have to pitch that to the team. Anyway, it looks like they have done well in my absence. Again, thanks to Orion for filling in. And yeah, some pretty cool things happening there. Torrent in 2. I like it. Good for them. Like I said, I brushed my hands, or washed my hands of that hit and told them good luck and went on vacation. So, yeah, nice job, guys. Anyway, so that, where are we? I just checked this. We have been up as high as like 12, 13, somewhere in that range. Currently sitting in the 20s. We'll jump up again a bit, probably into the mid-teens with our op today, and hopefully keep on marching up the leaderboard. Alright, well, anyway, we're going to have that conversation because I think that is possible, but as is usually the case, I will probably be overruled. But then again, well, whatever. I'm told I'm insane. Probably true. It's the way to be, though. In any case, like the video, thumbs up, you know how all of that stuff goes. Do what you're going to do, because that's, you know, you're not going to do it because I say so. Anyway, I'm Yalek. I'll catch you guys later. Take care.